I have overdraft fees and other money shit to worry about, but I'm trying, okay? Hey guys, Pat Keebler here for Would You Spend a Day with Tim Allen WYSADWTA, back at it again with another CD collection update for you guys. So I got about 3 CDs for you guys. I got a couple Ramones album and one more Sex Pistols album for you. Well, they only ever recorded one album, so, you know, it's the only Sex Pistols album. So, anyway, let's get right into it. So, first album, Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks. So this is actually their only ever recorded studio album. I think there was like a couple of, like, generic, like, punk best of albums that they were on. I can't really remember them right now. It was like, you know, like best of like UK punk 1977 to 1979 or whatever they were probably on. I can't really remember. But yeah, this is their only studio album that they ever released. And so for those of you who don't know much about the Sex Pistols, they were pretty much the other UK punk band that came around during the original wave of punk, right? I believe right after The Clash. So this album, I believe, came out, I think, not too long after. Well, it was around the same time The Clash released their debut album, which is just their self-titled album. So yeah, I would say I really like this album. A couple of my favorite songs, probably have to say, definitely Liar, God Save the Queen. That's just iconic, not ironic. I'm not a goddamn hipster. And I also really like New York. And what I really don't like is how New York is only the second to last song. And I really think it should have been the last song, because there would probably be a really good conspiracy theory behind it. Because for those of you who don't know, Sex Pistols bass player and singer, I guess if you want to call it, so their bass player Sid Vicious, he actually OD'd and died in a hotel in New York. I can't quite remember what the name of the hotel was, but it was a hotel in New York. And I guess it would have been really ironic if the last song would have been New York. Again, there probably would have been a conspiracy theory that would have launched, you know, a lot of psycho crap over the internet. But anyway, so yeah, I really like this album. I would definitely recommend it, because, you know, it's an iconic album. There's not really a lot of bands like this. So yeah. Alright. Next album I have for you guys is the Ramones, Acid Eaters. And when I first got this, the case for it kind of came off. Well, I mean, it was already broken, so there was like a lot of problems with the case itself. And so there's this bit that comes off right here. And then there's also like these little pegs, if you could see it, like those things right here. That hold the CD in place. A lot of those are missing, so the CD can just kind of just pop out, which is good and bad, because it's easy to like take out of the case, but it's also susceptible. It could be easily damaged, I guess. And one really, well, I wouldn't say cool, but one really unique fact about this album is that it's comprised entirely of covers, actually. So none of the Ramones wrote these songs. So here, if I can, this thing's falling apart, so I kind of have to take it like all apart. So yeah, the first song, "Journey to the Center of the Mind," that was actually a Ted Nugent song. "Out of Time," that was a Rolling Stone song. Or at least I assume it's a Rolling Stone song, because it says written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, so it's probably more or less a Rolling Stones song. I'm not too big a Rolling Stones fan, but you could probably deduce that. Somebody to Love, Darby Slick. 7 and 7 J's, that's Arthur Lee. Let's see, My Back Pages, that's Bob Dylan. And yeah, so yeah, no songs on this album are original, which is one of the reasons I wouldn't recommend this album. The covers themselves are good, but when you're doing an album that's 100% covers, it just kind of takes originality out of it. It just doesn't really give it the authenticity that it deserves. So I mean, the covers are good, but I would not really recommend this album solely because it's just covers. And this is their, I believe, third to last album that they made. So I think they were just running out of ideas to do, or song ideas. But anyway, so on to the next one that I have, which is another Ramones one, Mondo Bizarro. And, you know, thanks to this and that, I actually now have all of the Ramones albums, all the Clash albums, all the Sex Pistols album, singular. So I'm actually very proud of myself for that. Not to sound vain, but I do. This is actually a really good album, actually. And I believe, let's see, when did this come out? I think it was this, or actually no, I think it was Acid Eaters that says it was. So yeah, the copyright on Acid says copyright 1994, but Google and Wikipedia and like the internet says it came out in December of '93, which is weird. Because, I don't know, like, it was maybe released in, like, December 93, but it wasn't maybe popular until, like, January. I don't fucking know. But anyway, Mondo Bizarro, really great album. Favorite album right off the top is definitely Censor Shit. Let's see, what else we got? Anxiety, really like that. And, oh, my favorite all-time song off of this album has got to be Cabbies on Crack, because the guitar solo on that is just insane. It is mind-blowing. It just really demonstrates, you know, the talent. It kind of goes against the stereotype that punk rock is just, you know, a bunch of like power chords here and then just like a bunch of like cymbal-esque kind of solos. But yeah, the solo of this one is very technical. It's very, I don't know what other word to use other than just technical, but it's a really good solo and a really good song overall, and well, a really good album overall. And I think this actually was their first album with, I could be wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong. With, I think that was their first album with Richie Ramone, or it was either this or maybe Brain Drain. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but either way. So those are the albums I have for you guys this week. I now have all the Clash albums, all Ramones albums, all Sex Pistols album. It's just always funny to me when I say I have all of the Sex Pistols albums, all one of them. But that's just my weird sense of humor. Anyway, so that's what I got for you guys this time. If you have any album ideas or any song ideas you want me to listen to, make sure you comment them down below. Make sure you give a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And once again, I'm Pat Keebler for WYSADWTA. Bye!